Hi, my name is Michael Jackson, but I'm also known as the King of Pop. I was born August 29, in 1958. I grew up in Gary, Indiana with my mom, Kathrine, my dad, Joe, and my siblings, Janet, Randy, Toya, and so much more. Growing up, I was singing at nightclubs. Heck, I was performing at them. I grew up on stage. A major obstacle I had to get over, was getting burned while making a commercial for Pepsi the soda. I was just rocking out on stage when I got too close to the pyrotechnics, wires and stuff, and my hair accidentally caught on fire, but I didn't realize. As an adult, I made a theme park called Neverland Ranch, where children can go and have fun. People say it's like heaven. Also, my spouses/wives were Debbie Rowe and Lisa M. Presley. I had a lot of jobs, like I was an entrepreneur and a film director. Also, I had 3 children, Michael J. Jackson Jr., Prince Jackson, and Paris Jackson. My education was great at the time, and I went to a school called Garner Street Elementary, also a high school called Montclair College Prep. Some of my major accomplishments in life were the dance called the moonwalk. Yeah, I created that. Another one of my accomplishments was winning the Grammy Award, which was really important to me. Also, some of my music videos got 6 platinums, so it beat the record 6 times. Pretty cool, huh? Sadly, I died in June 25th, 2009 in LA, California at the age of 50. But one of my famous quotes are, if you want to make the world a better place, look at yourself, then make that change.
My name is Gianna Bryant, but you may know me as Gigi or Mambasita. I grew up in Los Angeles with my mom Vanessa and my dad Kobe. Growing up, I was a basketball player at my school, my dad's sport academy. My team's name was Mamba Ballers, but my dream team was Yukon Huskies for college. I went to Harvard Day School. An obstacle that I had to overcome was always having to prove that I didn't make basketball teams just because who my dad is. I am a good basketball player on my own. I had good grades and a lot of great friends. Sadly, I died in a helicopter crash with my dad and one of my best friends in 2020. I was only 13 years old. This quote is from my mom at me and my dad's memorial service. Babe, you take care of Gigi. I got Nanny, BB, and Coco. We are still the best team. We love you and miss you, Boo Boo and Gigi. May you both rest in peace and have fun in heaven until we meet you again. Love you. We love you both and miss you forever and always, Mommy.
Hi, my name is Ann Cole Lowe, but you may know me as Annie Cohen. I was born December 14, 1998. I grew up in Clayton, Alabama with my mom, Janie Lowe, and sister Sally Lowe. Growing up, I wanted to sew. I wanted to make beautiful dresses and bring my customers joy. I had to overcome all prejudice and hate people showed me because I was black. As an adult, I became a famous fashion designer and even got to design Jackie Kennedy's wedding dress. Some accomplishments in my life are designing Jackie Kennedy's wedding dress, becoming the first African American noted fashion designer, and I also got to meet Christian Dior, a super famous fashion designer. I wrote a book called Imagination Storycard. Quote from me: "If we fail this time, it will be a failure of imagination." I died February 25th, 1981 in Queens, New York at age 82.
My name is Michael Jeffrey Draven. I was born on February 17th in 1963. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, with Mom Delirious and Dad James, and 4 other siblings. Growing up, I played basketball. In school, even though I didn't make the team sophomore year, I went to college at UNC Chapel Hill. I was scared of water because I saw a good friend die in the water. As an adult, I played basketball and made 6 championships with the Chicago Bulls in 50 seasons. I am the owner of the Hornets basketball team. I am the best basketball player ever. A famous quote by me is, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games 26 times. I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed."
Hello, my name is Rennee Goldsberry, but you may know me as Rennee Goldsberry. I was born January 2nd in 1971. I grew up in San Jose, California with my mother, Betty Sanders, and my father, an automotive industry executive, and my older brother and two younger brothers. Growing up, I went to Hits Theater in Houston, Texas when I was 8 years old and was inspired to become a stage actress. I graduated from Cranbrook Kingwood School in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and went to do my bachelor's at Carnegie Mellon University in 1993. I majored in fine arts and theater. As an adult, I got married to my husband in 2002. A few years later, I had my first child in May 2009, and my husband and I also adopted our second child from Africa in 2014. About a year later, I starred in many plays/musicals and some movies. Some musicals I starred in is Hamilton as Angelica Schuyler from 2015 to 2016. Starring in Hamilton definitely made me famous and is a huge accomplishment. Some of my accomplishments in life are: I starred Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton. I won the Best Performance by a Featured Actor in a Musical Tony Award for Hamilton in June 2016. I was a nominee for a Supported Actress in a Drama Series, or a Gold Derby Award. Like I always say, I think you have to chase your life even harder than you chase your career.
Hi, my name is Naomi Campbell, but you know me as Black Panther, Baby Woman, and Wagon. I was born May 22nd in 1970. I grew up in Streatham with my mother, Valerie Campbell, and I never met my dad. Later on, I had two brothers, Richard and Peary Blackwood. In my early years of Rome, my mother worked as a modern dancer and traveled with the dance troupe Fantastica. An obstacle I overcome was when I started my career for modeling. I experienced racism and insults. I am and was involved with numerous charitable organizations, the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, and in 2005 I founded the charity We Love Brazil to fight poverty. I am and was model, YouTuber, singer, writer, business person, stylist, editor, television producer, film actor, and a fashion model. And I have been engaged twice and have one adopted daughter. My famous quote is, if you have to talk to more than 3 people about the same problem, you don't want help, you want attention.
Hi, my name is Cathay Williams, and I'm the African American one. You may know me as John Williams or Williams Cathay. I was born in Independence, Missouri, and worked as a house slave for a man named William Johnson until his death. An obstacle I had to overcome was that I was a woman and we were not allowed to enlist in the Army back then. On top of that, I was black, so I was not treated well. They discovered I was a woman at a visit to the hospital. Soon after that, my husband left me, stole all of my money, $100, and a team of horses in order to escape consequences of the legal things he was doing. As an adult, I enlisted in the United States Army under the aliases of John Williams and Williams Cathay. We later became known as the Buffalo Soldiers. We were a team of African American soldiers who mainly served on the western frontier. Some of my accomplishments in life are being the first African American woman to enlist in the Army. I was also the only known woman to pose as a man during the American Indian War period. I also witnessed the Shenandoah raids in Virginia, and I later went on to travel to Iowa, St. Louis, Missouri, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Savannah and Macon, Georgia. I died in 1893 in Trinidad and Tobago at the age of 49. I did not have any famous or favorite quotes, but if I did, it would be something about how being a woman doesn't make you weak.
Hi, my name is Amanda Gorman. I was born March 7th, 1998. I grew up in Los Angeles, California with my mom, Joan Wicks, my brother Spencer, and my twin sister, Gabriella Gorman. Growing up in Los Angeles, I began writing poetry as a child. At the age 16, I served as a youth delegate for the United Nations. Soon after that, I became the Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles and published my first collection, The One for Whom Food Is Not Enough. One obstacle I had to overcome was an auditory processing disorder and a hypersensitivity to sound. I also had a speech impediment during my childhood. As an adult, I became an American poet activist. My work focuses on oppression, feminism, race, and marginalization. If you're not familiar with what marginalization means, It means putting other people below yourself and treating them unfair or unkind. Some of my accomplishments are: in 2014, I was chosen as an inaugural Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles. In 2018, I was named one of Glamour magazine's College Women of the Year. And in 2021, I was selected to read in the inauguration of Joe Biden, making me the youngest poet ever to read in the U.S. presidential inauguration. Here is a piece of my poem I read on Inauguration Day. Let the globe and nothing else say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. And one fact about me is I plan on running for president in 2036.
Hi, my name is Kathrine Johnson. I was born on August 26 in 1918. I grew up in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, with my mom, Joylette Coleman, dad, Joshua Coleman, and siblings Horace, Charles, and Margaret Coleman. Growing up, I was very smart. At age 5, I was placed in 2nd grade, and at 10, I was in high school. At 15, I went to West Virginia University to obtain a degree in mathematics and French. In work and at school, I had to deal with segregation. Segregation is when you keep people separate from each other just because of the color of their skin. There were segregated restrooms, and some of my teachers gave me bad grades just because of my race. As an adult, I went back to West Virginia University to get my graduate degree, but I had to drop out due to being pregnant. I married James Goebel in 1959, but he died in 1956. I then married to James Johnson in 1959, but he died in 2019. I worked as a teacher until I worked at NASA, where I stayed for over 30 years. I have 3 daughters named Joylette, Constance, and Catherine. Some of my accomplishments are having John Glenn ask for me to check the computer calculations that were critical to the Friendship 7's launch. Friendship 7 was a rocket ship that would formally introduce America to Russia's space race. The mission would make John Glenn the first American to orbit the Earth. In 2016, there was a movie made about me and my career with Mary Jackson and Dorothy Vaughan. There are many adult and children's books made after that. The movie was named Hidden Figures. In 2015, President Barack Obama awarded me the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2016, I was awarded the Silver Snoopy Award and a NASA Group Achievement Award. I died on February 24, 2020 in Newport News, Virginia at age 101. One of my famous quotes is, "We will always have STEM with us. Some things will drop out of the public eye and go away, but there will always be science, engineering, and technology. And there will always be math."
Hi, my name is Jackie Robinson, but you may know me as J-Rob. I was born January 31 in 1919. I grew up in Pasadena, California with my mom, Mally, my dad, Jerry, and my siblings, Mac, Frank, Edgar, and Willa Mae. I went to the schools Pasadena City College and University of California. Some obstacles I had to overcome were racist obscenities being said to me, hate mail, and death threats to me, my family, and my career. Growing up, I loved baseball. In addition to that, I also played football as quarterback, basketball as guard or forward, tennis, and track and field. As an adult, I married a woman named Rachel, had a kid, named him Jackie Jr., and got a job as a big league baseball player. Some accomplishments I had in life were breaking the color barrier in 1947 in the major leagues, leading the National League in stolen bases in 1947 and 1949, and when I won MVP, which is a baseball award for most valuable player. I died October 24 at age 53 when I suffered a heart attack in my home in Stamford, Connecticut. Something famous that I said was, "Life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives."
Hi, my name is Sojourner Truth. I was born in 1797, and I grew up in slavery in New York with my mom, Elizabeth B., and my dad, James B., and I have about 10 brothers and 10 sisters. Growing up, my family was owned by Herkenberg family, who are Dutch, so I only learned how to speak Dutch. An obstacle I had to overcome was that I was sold to John Neely, an Englishman. He was not happy that I could only speak Dutch. He would beat me because I could not follow his orders, but I couldn't understand him. As an adult, I was later sold to a man named John Deltmut. I fell in love with a man named Robert and from a nearby farm. However, Deltmut would not let me marry him. He ordered me to marry one of his slaves, named Thomas. Some of my accomplishments in life is I escaped slavery and walked off the farm and went to a nearby neighbor who helped me by buying me and then setting me free. I also saved my son Peter, who had been sold into slavery far away from me, by suing his owner and winning. One of my favorite quotes are, "Truth is powerful and it prevails."
Hi, my name is Booker T. Washington, but a lot of people call me the Great Accommodator. An accommodator is someone who tries to keep the peace or make people happy in some way. I was born on April 5th in 1856. I grew up in Franklin, Virginia with my mom Jan and father Washington Ferguson. As an adult, I was married 3 times and had 3 children named Portia, Ernest, and Booker T. Washington Jr. I worked as a miner while I was getting an education. Then I was a teacher at Hampton for a while. Some of my accomplishments in life were writing 5 books, leading Tuskegee University, and advising 2 presidents. An obstacle I had to overcome was finding an education. One day, I was working when I overheard a conversation about a school. I was interested, and I walked 500 miles down to Alabama to attend. I died at Tuskegee University on November 14, 1915, at the age of 59. One of my famous quotes is, "In all things that are purely social, we can be as separate as fingers. Yet, as one is a hand in all things essential to mutual progress." This quote means that in a social setting, you can choose who your friends are, but to get things done, we all have to work together. Thus, my nickname, the Great Accommodator.